Welcome, folks. Welcome, one and all. It's nighttime, as again, and look at the wonderful the window at night. Oh, look at all those lights. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so let me show you the give you a quick tour before we continue, and let you know what we're going to be doing tonight. If you're bored and up, feel free to watch along. Now, look at that. Look at that. There's the new floor. So that's the tile, and it's I my little design, same as I did in the old house. Every transition over here, I'm going to have a black tile on the transition. So this is all done. This is all grouted. Transition. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Go straight into the bathroom. The floor is done, as you see. And I just cut this for now that the floor is done. I just cut this and put in I'll put in the toilet a little later, but I'm prepping for tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to be, I ran out of grout. So as you see, it's up to here and then back there. It's just, well, you could see behind me, that side is grouted, this side is not. Well, I'll worry about that in the next grout session because I want to do a half a bag at a time, and half a bag, it's too much for this. But anyway, so what we're doing now today is, or tonight, is I cleaned this area up and swept it up nice and neat. Cleaned this area up and swept it up nice and neat. I'm prepping 3 rooms for tomorrow and the hallway. And oh, take a look. We got our first toilet in. I got to let the all the bottom dry and everything, but other than that, looks good. Okay, so let me put you on the stand because I have to completely move out this stuff and yeah, I got to clear out some more stuff. So if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them. Let me. Sorry, folks. Let me just set up my camera here. On the tripod, and you guys feel free, enjoy. I'll be working. Mostly I'll be throwing a bunch of stuff away because there's a bunch of garbage there, but here we go. Alrighty. Bring this over here. Now. This water has got grout in it, so I'm not going to dump it in the drain. I'll just dump it up front. And continue. Make sure I'm nice and low there. I like having a level. That sound you hear, maybe the AC. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so move this bucket over here. Okay, see what we got. Garbage. You know what? I'm gonna pick it up the easy way. Be right back. No sense of better now when you got the Nate Cooper scooper. First of all, these are not garbage. This is part of the this is the ring that goes in between the toilet seat, and I haven't installed the toilet seat yet. I'm waiting for the toilet to situate on top of the thin set and on the wax, and there we go. And these are the two covers for, it's one of those toilets that has the sides all the way across, and then that way you get nice clean covers with it. So, there's that. Okay, let me put these things over here for now. I'm going to leave the tile, but everything else I can take with me. So how's everybody doing out there? Everybody good? I don't need that stopper anymore, so I'll just take it off. The heck do I have here? Oh yeah, that's the trash. Alright, so before I waste my time sweeping, hey Mixed Berries, how's it going? So before I waste my time sweeping, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape the corners from the drywall and compound and all that, and get ready for the tile. Good. I'll worry about that after. That's some compounding I gotta do. I got to touch up some walls near the bottom. That's no big deal. All right. So, we, I got most of this outside. I'm going to take care of this room in a bit. And then what I'll do is I'll sweep everything. I'll start sweeping from over there to over here. Nothing in the way here. Okay, folks, it's time to sleep. A little boring, but it is what it is. Prep work is always boring. There's a section I didn't scrape back there, so I'm working on that now. How's it going again, folks? Just doing the midnight run. Need the bottom prepped for the tile. I don't want any cracks to propagate through the tile. Basically, I'm sweeping all the rooms, making sure they're super clean. And the next step that I do after this is there's a few cracks, tiny little, that happen everywhere. And there's a product, it's called Mapagard 2. It's a crack isolation membrane from Mapei, the tile manufacturer, and the tile product manufacturer. It's a great product. It prevents cracks from propagating from the concrete through the thin set to the tile. So with that, I'll be able to tile nicely all over it. There's no sense in wasting tons of money and laying a layer on the whole floor. This slab has been sitting for 2 years. Any cracks have already developed. And they're all very small, they're all minor cracks. And I don't want them, and while they may or may not get bigger, if I put this stuff on, I won't have a problem. At least in my lifetime of the for the top. Oh, I missed a section here. There's always one section. Around the corners, let me explain what I'm doing here. So around the corners, when my wife gave me a hand putting down she put down most of it actually, if not all of it, the paper to protect the floor while I was doing texturing and painting and all that other stuff. Through a miscommunication on my part, I didn't tell her to go up the wall or to the wall. I told her to stay away from the wall. I don't know why I said that, but so as a result, I got a 1/2 inch to 1 inch in some places to 2 inches of exposed floor, which got hit with, and always along the wall edges, they got hit with. It doesn't really make much of a difference because I do a quick scrape and it's the end of the wall, so it's not like, oh, the tile is not adhering to the last inch. And of course it will with this stuff. This is polymer enriched thin set. It's heavy, it sticks like crazy. Doesn't turn into dust. It holds for a long time. Well, anyway, so I'm going around and prepping everything by scraping everything flat, getting rid of all the dirt and the junk. And then afterwards, like I was saying, I'm going to take and do the lines the cracks. Fill them in. First, the way to do the cracks is you prep them with the primer, and then you do the then you put the other thing on it. So yeah, let me just sweep a little of this out of the way. Let me scrape this. We'll do it from this side. There it goes. That's nice and clean. Scrape it out. Cool. Yeah. Everything's out of the way except for some hammers and stuff. I'm going to do the last bedroom that we're going to be tiling tomorrow. And then, and after that, I'll worry about the cracking thing. Okay. All right, before I continue with the last of the hallway that I'm going to do, I'm going to clear out this room. So let me take you guys into the room. And point your gaze down to the floor, which is what I'm doing. And I didn't scrape this yet, so I got to scrape it. So here we go. Should have gone back from here. So this one's known as the guest room. All right. Time to sweep the floor clean. Sorry, folks, got to move you a little bit. Corners are always worse. All right, we're going back out. We finished this room. This room has one or two little cracks, but nothing really out of the ordinary. We're almost done with the whole section here. Alrighty then. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to throw out the garbage. Oh, there's a can. All right. Okay, the AC is starting up. So I will do my best to keep the dust down, as it were. But here we go. No last time. Okay. All right, the next step, folks, is to, let's see if this is, oh, this is fine. The next step, folks, is, well, to drink something to wipe my sweat. You know, it's 72 degrees inside here, so 70 degrees, that's uncomfortable, and I'm sweating bullets. So, goes that. Next comes the fun part. Now I'm going to cut some pieces. So I'm going to cut some pieces of this thing locked in here. I have a few pieces of the material, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the crack. I'm going to lay the material on the crack just to present it, and then I'm going to move it over, roll the primer, wait 15 to 20 minutes for it to dry, and then place the material right on it, and I'm done for the night, you know. So we'll see what happens. So I've got a piece over here. Let me go ahead and do that piece inside the thing. I'll take you guys with me over to the drinking booth, the whatever. It's my to where I need to be to. Well, here we go. I'll just leave you guys right here. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm sitting in my chair with my drink. How's it going, folks? How's everything? I'm gonna grab a little bit of tea. Feel free to, oh, feel free to say anything you like, or rather ask anything you like, and I'll do my best to answer it. If you have any questions about construction, if you have any questions about, at this point I'm tiling, but tiling, I'll be doing trim work. I'll be doing installation of interior doors over the next few days, caulking the windows and caulking the doors and caulking the baseboards and all that stuff. And then and I got to do a whole bunch of touch-up, you know. A whole bunch of touch-up. So, well, there's some work. There's some work ahead. Luckily, it's not too much work, but it's work. I've got a punch list of everything to do in each room. And I haven't gotten there yet, but when I'm ready, that's the final punch list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them on each room, and then yeah, I'm gonna place the punch list on each room and check off the stuff as I go. And when the punch list is done, I'll just take the joy of crumbling it up and throwing it in the garbage and knowing that room is complete. So, Alexa, turn on the living room fans.
Okay.
Oh, that's a refresher. Yeah, I've got a roller and I'm ready, but I gotta cut. The next thing I gotta once I cut all those things and lay them down where they go, the rest is just rolling, waiting, and laying them down, peeling and sticking. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, it's time to get going on the on those things. So as you see here, that's where I got the rolls. I cut a couple rolls. I don't know if it's small enough, but it's long enough for the first room, and then I'll deal with the next room next. Okay, so here we go. Knife, roll, and we're off. At least the places are swept and ready to go for tile work. All right, let's do Grandma's room first, because it should be done. Okay, so here we go. Bathroom first. This crack propagates to the wall. So goes to here. See how that looks. Cut a little more. All right. That one's in place. Don't have anything else over here. We have a crack along here. Perfect. that's that one. We got one there. Let's see where else we got a crack. They're happening everywhere, folks, but they're all tiny ones. So it's probably not going to even, matter. Okay, let me grab another roll. Almost there. Trying to yield as much as I can by cutting a roll in half. And, all right. I put this down, but I'll save it for a smaller crack. Let's see what we got over here. Perfect. Okay. This room is done. I got to do a few marks here and there to know where to put the mud. How's it going, Paul? Good to see you. Yeah, it's not fun at all, but it is what it is. So what I'm doing is I am doing a little bit of crack prevention. Yeah, a little crack prevention. So wherever I can, I'm running this. Let's see, how much do I got here? Yeah, it should be good. I'm. Go and here we go. Yeah, let's see what we got here. That. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, there are certain places. Have we tried? Yeah, actually, have I tried RedGuard? Yeah, but RedGuard is great for waterproofing, not for crack prevention under tile. Because I mean, it's good, but there it is. Yeah, I did something stupid. There's one dumb thing I did when I designed this house, and that is I didn't put a front porch. I didn't put a thing over the porch. a roof over the porch. So my front porch is kind of exposed. Eventually, when after I get the CO and everything, I'll put a double a gable over the front porch. But right now, when it rains really, really hard, I got water coming in sideways. And unfortunately, since the tile's not in place outside and the door hasn't been sealed in between the side lights, where's my, there you go, between the side lights and the door, I've got a little bit of I could see daylight. So water comes in and then I get a little bit of water everywhere. So I waterproofed it. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit it with caulking, because it's not gonna rain tomorrow, and then I'm just gonna seal the whole thing in. It's gonna be white. I was going to paint it. Oh God, my camera's unplugged. Here we go. So I was going to paint it. I was gonna stain it, but then I thought, first of all, it's a lot easier. If I have to caulk something and then find a stain and it's just or fill it in with, it's just a pain in the butt. I'm in a hurry to move in. I don't feel like taking my time doing nice woodwork. That's for when I have the shop and I'm doing nice woodwork. Right now, this is rough carpentry. Well, anyway, so the door, and the main reason really is because the other two doors, exterior doors, are white, and all my accents are white. So it doesn't make any sense having one wooden door while everything else is white. Looks better in white. Not to mention it'll reflect the sun better, so it'll last longer. But it's a fiberglass door. It's not going to be an issue for a long, long term. But it's also a custom door. It's an 8-foot door, not a 6'8". So it's nice having a big door in the front and a big door in the back. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful thing. Really gives the house a good look. Well, anyway, so I got all of that. Now, yeah, so what I'm doing now is the procedure that's called for tile is on concrete is primer, then crack isolation membrane, which is basically a fiberglass mat of a membrane, very thin. It's 40 mil thick, but it's a peel and stick, so it's a beautiful thing. But you don't want it to stick onto dust or onto just plain concrete. You want it to stick. So you put the primer down, let it dry for 15 minutes, and that thing will stick like nobody's business. So then that won't move. And then when you have the bed of thin set with the tile over the whole thing, they're not going to worry about cracks. Now in the other rooms, I started doing them, and I did the whole entire floor with this stuff. But I got a good deal on it. I found it for $130 a roll from a couple of guys that work in tile, and they had a bunch of extra rolls. But they had a few extra rolls, 2 or 3 extra rolls. But then when I go to look, I need 14 rolls to do the whole house. Those rolls, $130 a roll is great for 225 square feet, but I'm doing over 3,000. I need 14 rolls at $275 a pop is what they go for. Anywhere between $225 and $275. $225 if I want to wait 2 weeks. I don't want to wait 2 weeks. So then I talked to one of the tile guys that I know, and he said, don't worry about it. What they do is they only do it where the cracks are. If it's like my place where the slab has been sitting for 2 years, and so it's not going to develop any. If it develops any new cracks, it'll be along the old cracks, along the little cracks. This thing's pretty much, I don't want to say it's pretty much settled. It's only 2 years. The slab is only 2 years old, and it's going to year and a half, and it's going to settle a lot longer over time. And you never know how the sandy soil is going to settle either. But you know what? For the moment, I'm happy with putting the crack on the crack resistance only on that. I've got small tile. If anything, it should crack along it'll definitely crack along the grout lines So fill in some more grout, have a nice day. And I've got this polymer grout, and I've got this polymer thin set. That stuff holds like a mother bear, and so at least if the slab cracks, it's not going to propagate straight to the tile and crack my tile. Here's hoping. So then, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm prepping because tomorrow I plan to do the guest room, grandma's room, grandma's bathroom, grandma's closet, which I'm going to be moving all my stuff from the master bedroom, which I'm temporarily sleeping there now. I mean, my wife wakes up early in the morning, and I, as you can see, work late most days. I don't want to be waking her up when I'm going in. My daughter's also here until next semester when she starts her master's. So they're both in the RV, nice and comfortable in separate rooms, and I don't have to wake anybody up. I got the whole place to myself, got AC, got air conditioning, got electric, got the electric turned on. I got my 30-day power, my pre-power. So I'm good to go. Well, anyway, so what happens? I'm here, I'm comfortable. I got a mini fridge. I don't really need much, and I got snacks for nighttime. My wife takes off at 6. My daughter goes to work at 8, and I'm here 24/7. And so I have the run of the place during the day, and the run of the house all day. Beautiful thing. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. RedGuard to seal the membrane in place. That's good to know. But yeah, I'm just going to go with the manufacturer's recommendations and save some money on the membrane while I'm at it. That way, because I have stress cracks. I have, on purpose, I have lines cut in the, and one of the stress cracks that I have is along the wall. Beautiful. I don't have to worry about that one. I don't have to worry at all. In fact, the tile that goes along the wall goes right next to the stress crack. So the tile that goes over the thresholds goes right next to the stress crack. So if that line cracks, it's underneath the load-bearing wall. It's not going to be an issue at all, and it's not going to be seen. It's not going to crack the tile. And then the two places where it pops up, which is in the two doorways, it goes along this long wall. There's one doorway, there's another behind me. And so the line goes all the way from there to there. So that one, it runs right next to basically along a grout line. So I'm not even going to bother with putting a cracking thing on that, but the other stress cracks, like these that you see here, stress, these, you can see it. It's right here. And, well, I don't know if you could see it, but it's running all along there. Anyway, the main ones that are every, 30, 40 feet, those I'm going to cover completely when the time comes. Right now, okay, so those rooms, the guest room and this hallway, that's tomorrow's job. And I'm getting there. So let me see what else I have. What's next? Okay, so let me do this room. See if I have anything. I got some small stuff in this room. This is my guest room. And let's put it this way, there's a crack, and I have to look really, really hard because, here it is. So tiny that basically it's a trail of dust, but I am going to cover it. The problem is it ends. I don't see where it ends. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's just so small. So let me grab another piece for that one. There we go. Let's see where the middle is on this one. Again, I gotta look for it because there it is. That's, I mean, hey, Steve, good to see you. The place feels good, Here, let me show you the, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the video, but let me show you the tile work so far. So, there it is. There's one of my daughter's rooms. I picked a nice gray tile with a light gray grout. Here's the bathroom, such as it is. Getting ready to put the toilet in, the second toilet. I put the first one in already. There's 4. And this is my other daughter's room. So, and what I do is, see, I like to have these transitions. I'm a nut over little threshold transitions. The whole entire house, including bathrooms, all going to be the same tile. Nice and easy. 79 cents a square foot. Thank you. Have a nice day. Love the big box stores for certain things. As long as it's done right. I mean, my last one, I paid about the same amount of money 22 years ago for the last, for the house. And when I tiled that, I do not have a single crack in the house. I have a chip from somebody dropping something, it might have been me, on the tile. And I don't even remember where the chip is. It's in a non-disclosed location. But yeah, I'm very happy with this as it is. So let's see. Enjoyed watching you every now and again. Yep, the different videos from your CNC. Yeah, I know. I'm still going. It's well, to a certain degree, it's not like I have a choice. It's either I do this or get the. I've got to. I'll just leave the light there. It's here. I'll do it this way, maybe. Everywhere I go, I got a reflection. So yeah, and it's not like I have a choice. I got a house. I got a permit that I got to complete. I got a house I got to move into, and well, now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But shoot, forgot to connect again the battery. There we go. All right, so yeah, I got to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But even before, in the beginning, it was all gung ho. During the middle, it was a journey. But it's on my bucket list. I wanted to build the whole. I mean, I've done it before. I've done houses before for other people, for myself. I did a shed. I did garages. I've done remodelings of bathrooms, everything. I've done electrical work. I've done plumbing. I've done HVAC. I've done floor. Basically, I've done all the different parts. But you tell me, there's a difference between being able to do all the different parts and building a house, designing, putting it into plans, getting a stamp from an engineer, running through the permits, doing the excavation, doing the groundwork, doing the battleborg, all the way up to the roof, all the insides, the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, tile work, trim work, doors, carpentry, windows, everything. Okay, two things I did not do. One is I did not do the slab. Did not do the slab. I am not an idiot, and I could have. It would have taken me another 2 months. It would have been ridiculously expensive because I would have had to do it in 10 by 10 sections. You imagine a 65 foot by 65 foot house in 10 by 10 sections? That's about 40 sections or so. Let's call it 30, 35 because it's a 3,500 square foot house. But the slab, oh, and don't get me started on the warehouse, which is 3,200, and the breezeway and all the other things in between. But yeah, nobody in their right mind. I mean, you know, Steve, you know it. Nobody in their right mind would do a slab, especially because it costs less to have it done. And the professionals, oh my God, this thing is super smooth, smooth as silk. I live on sandy soil, so there's going to be stress cracks. I do not know a single slab in my entire building career that I've ever built that does not have stress cracks, except one, which is that warehouse. But that warehouse, oh, and warehouse is similar. That warehouse has a 5-inch thick concrete. It's got 3 foot thick footers and 6 foot by 6 foot by 3 foot deep concrete footers under each of the concrete under each of the beams, the girders. That thing's, it's a monster. It's a monster. In fact, while I was building it, I accidentally 12,000 pound high lift. I accidentally bumped it into, and I gave it some power, and I didn't even realize it. I was backing up, and I bumped the forklift into the frame. It wasn't even complete, and that thing did not move. It was just being held by the bolts on the ground. Nothing cracked, no, thank God. You know, nothing bent, nothing. That thing's solid. Overbuilt. It's overbuilt. Super smooth, fantastic work on the car. And the other thing I didn't do is insulation. Paul, now you hit the nail on the hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, you're getting tough to do those things. I'm at that bending point, teetering point, whatever you want to call it. Right now, this right now is bending because I've been working the whole day. But normally, up until about 1 or 2 hours ago, you'd hear clack, 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 clack. I don't know if it's arthritis or if it's some major tendon issue. I wake up in the morning, this thumb and this finger completely stiff, in pain, and I can't bend it. I have to squeeze it here or here to slowly bend it, and it still goes, you know, it snaps. You know, I think they call it trigger thumb. You know, it might be arthritis. It might be, I've read about it. You know what? I can't worry about it now. I got to wait till I finish. But it's really hurting. Getting older, getting tired. I mean, what I started with the logs years ago, when I was just clearing the land and moving big, heavy logs, I wouldn't attempt that now. And it's only been 4 or 5 years, 6 years. But it's the 50s. Your last great, you know, surge of power comes in your early 50s. Now when you're in your late 50s, everything falls apart. Thank God I'm still, you know, kicking. I'm 58. Thank God I'm still kicking, you know. Well, anyway, so insulation. Blown-in insulation, I'm not going to be crawling through the rafters. I already crawled through them for the electrical. I crawled through them for the plumbing vent lines. I crawled through them for all the HVAC. Oh my God, you know, and mounting all the plenums and the distribution boxes and the up and down. Oh, not to mention the trusses and the roof blocking. But that's it. Now everything was in place, and I had the drywall in place. The last thing I'm going to do is be crawling around in the summer in a hot attic doing blown-in insulation. I don't care if the machine is free if you buy a bunch of. Let me tell you, it cost me $2,800. 3,000 square feet. B to the wall, loaded 44, R44. And I didn't want to do fiberglass. I did blown-in cellulose. Cellulose is much, well, it's got the anti-bug because it's got the borate for anti-bugs, which fiberglass, the bugs won't eat it, but they'll live in it. Whereas this stuff, they won't even get near it. It's got it's a much higher insulation value. The disadvantage, and much higher soundproof and fire retardant is, I know it's newspaper versus fiberglass. You would think fiberglass would be more fire retardant. Nope. Check out all the tests. Check out the YouTube videos. Check out the state tests. The government tests, and it's considerably more fire retardant, the blown-in cellulose. And the disadvantage is, number one, it's super dusty. I'll get to that. And secondly, it's they say it fluffs up and then over 10 or 15 years it'll compact down. Well, okay. Number one, to address both those issues, I got the stabilized dense pack cellulose, which what they do is they have a machine. The people specifically have a machine that costs like 30 grand. None of these Home Depot box store machines that adds water to the mix. And the guys know how to run it because that thing gets clogged. It got clogged 2 or 3 times, and they had to. But anyway, obviously it's a harder mix to get through because it's wet, not completely wet. It's wet enough that you can feel a little bit of moisture when you hold it in your hand and it clumps. It goes on denser. And 2, I have them do R44. I only need R30 in this area. R38 is usually what they do. Well, I asked them how much for more. And they said, no, just the material, because we're already there. I said, great. R38, R44 it is. And so they gave me 14 inches of that stuff. It's a beautiful sea of gray. I'm never going to go up there. Where do I have to go up to the attic for to do anything? I've got all my wires run. Most everything these days is Wi-Fi anyways. And I've got a beautiful, huge warehouse for storage. So. Did I do foil on the roofing ply? Yes and no. What I did for the roofing was the way roofing works is, let me get to the other room real quick because I'm gonna grab a drink. The way roofing works is you've got the way heat insulation works. There's 3 different types of way that heat gets transferred. Conduction, convection, and radiation. So, simply put, for those others listening or anybody that doesn't know that, conduction is basically you touch something and the heat transfers from one thing to another. So if you touch a stove, you burn your hand, whatever. If you put an aluminum over the stove, aluminum foil over the stove, like over it, and then you touch the aluminum, you're not going to burn yourself. If you place the aluminum foil on the stove and you touch it, burn, because the aluminum foil needs an air barrier. That leads me to radiant heat. Radiant heat is heat that transfers through the air, through radiation. Not through the air, through radiation. Through the air is convection. So radiant heat, like the sun traveling through the atmosphere and all that, if you have aluminum, it's 97% reflective. Gold is 99, but who's going to pay that kind of money? Aluminum's good. So then, but the problem with aluminum foil or aluminum foiled products, insulation and stuff, is that most people don't realize is a lot of people go, oh yeah, let me put the aluminum sided plywood. Well, one, I didn't want to spend that much on the plywood. That's a lot of money. I mean, we're talking, what did I bought 180 sheets of plywood for my decking. And that's a lot of money. And yes, if I would have placed it with foil side down in the attic, then it would have been fine, because it wouldn't have the radiation would have stopped there. It would have been better to put an air gap in between. In other words, which is a little bit of what I did. I put a foil across. I got the attic foil stuff, or the aluminum. I've got a roll of foil with perforations on it for air to go over the first 8 feet across the rafters, across the bottom of the top cords of the trusses. That way, the whole edge. First of all, the whole edge has baffles on top, because it has to let air through from the soffit it's an air it's not a sealed. If it was sealed, I'd have to use spray foam or something else, and it's not a mess. I mean, it's just a mess. I mean, expensive. So what I did was I did air foil on the bottom. I mean, the aluminum foil on the bottom. First, there's the baffle from the soffit to let the air through. Then I've got under the baffle, I've got a piece of, then I put the foil on the top of the thing. So I've got a foil all around the edge of the house, 8 feet. That's a good, I think that's 1,200 square feet of the 3,300 that the house is. So it's a good substantial amount. It's over a third of the house. Under the foil, and now the foil, remember, it's on the bottom of the top cord, so there's a gap. And the foil also acts as a bug light. The foil also acts as a baffle itself, but I use plastic baffles as well on top of it. Then underneath it, I put insulation, R38 insulation, all along the edges, because it's very difficult to get the blown-in insulation. So the blown-in insulation, they put it over my bad insulation where they could, but when you're near the edge of the roof, there's this much space. The insulation is this big, so I mean, it's stuffed, except for the top little piece that's the baffle, So that's how that is. I'll tell you what. My air conditioner right now, I've started doing calculations on the electricity that I use here. The AC is on all the time. It's been on for about 3 weeks now since I got the power on. And I'm looking at a bill of, in the RV right now, I'm paying about $320 to $300 bucks a month. Say about $300 a month, but it's going up during the summer. Here, I'm looking at 140 right now. 140, 130. It's not that only one person's living in it. It's just, I mean, because over there we don't really use much more than a griddle for cooking. We don't have an oven over there, so it's not like There are going to be a lot of big factors, the water heaters, but right now we're bathing in the house. I got the two showers working, so we got the hot water heater going here, and the well is connected still, 140. That's a steal. I did some calculations over there. We're looking at I'm looking at about 100 watts. What is it? 100 watts a day? 100 kilowatts a day. Yeah, which is about three megawatts a month, uh, or 3,000, whatever, 100 times 30, 3,000 kilowatts. Yeah, 3 megawatts a month, which is about what I used in my old house. My old house is very inefficient. Right now, this is using um, 35 a day. So that comes out to 1 megawatt a month. I'm very happy about that. Granted, not everybody's moved in here, but we haven't. But we're in a pretty. I mean, it was 95 degrees out there today, and still, this AC, 4 tons, 4 tons for a 3,500 square foot house. It still shuts off. It's off now. Well, it's nighttime, but I mean, 4 tons. Unheard of. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't, and I didn't believe it when my buddy, the mechanical engineer, did the energy calculations. He said it's going to take between 3.5 and 4 tons. Like, you're out of your mind. So I bought a unit that does 4 to 5, adjustable, in case I need it. Never needed more over 4. It's fantastic. Sucks out all the water. Very comfortable. It's fantastic, fully operational. So probably over the next couple weeks, I will be calling for final electrical. Everything's in place. I just have to put a ground bridge outside. I have to wire up the well and things like that. And then the other thing is the AC final. The only thing I got left is everything's connected. Obviously, the AC's running, but the lines outside, I don't have the cover on them. I got to put the cover on the line set. And yeah, that's it. That's it for that. I've got the drainage. I've got the little required by code, the little overflow switch, all connected. Everything's running super smooth. Not a problem. Anyway, plumbing is what I'm waiting on. I wanted to call 4 because low voltage I've already got also. I wanted to call all 4 of them at the same time. Or maybe one after another, but I wanted to, whatever. Plumbing is all perfectly running. I've got the 2 showers working. The third one, I've got to tile it. So as soon as it's tiled, it's working because I just have to put the handle and the shower head on it, and the drain will be with the when I do the tile work, and then I've got 2 toilets. Well, 1 toilet in, the other toilet I got to move it. It's in the warehouse. I got to bring it in and connect it tomorrow. That's it. I've got 2 others. 2 other toilets to go. Again, tile work. The tile work for the 1 toilet will be for tomorrow. So then I'll have 3 toilets in place. And over the next couple weeks, I'll have, well, maybe a little longer, I don't know. But I'll have the octagon done. That's that. Oh. Getting a bit tired. But it feels good to be, working at night, doing it. That AC just kicked on again. 10 minutes on, or 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off. It's very, very comfortable. Not to mention these fans. Yeah, I got the fans in the living room. I got fans everywhere. They keep me cool. They keep me cool at night. Everything's nice and cool. I got a lot of work ahead of me because, as you see, I don't know if you guys can see it past this thing over there. I've got the baseboards. I got to paint the baseboards. There's just so many things that are on the detailed list. But right now, I'm concentrating on tile work, at least to do a few rooms, and then I'll finish up once I finish the hallway, I want to see if I knock out all the doors, all the trim work, well, there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to put up, I bought curtain rods. There's this place called Ollie's around here. I don't know if you guys got anything similar, but it's like a surplus store or something like that. They buy stuff they buy stuff that in bulk, in pallets from Walmart and from all these other places. Because I know they got Mainstay, they got a bunch of different brands, stuff that nobody wants, either off colors or this or that. Well, I found these curtain rods. They're decent looking. They go from 5 to 10. Good night, Paul. Have a wonderful night. These curtain rods, $10 a piece, and they go from 3 to 10 feet. You can't beat it with a stick. I'm gonna put all the curtain rods up. I'll have curtains. I don't care about blinds. I don't like blinds. And eventually I'll put those little Wi-Fi things that move the curtains back and forth. So all I need is curtains like these that have the monstrous holes in them, and I can automate everything. So anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call this because I'm gonna do the rest of this stuff without having to move the camera over and over. So everybody have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to finish up. Basically, what I'm going to end up doing is, I'll film it. Probably just put a camera raw. I'm going to take a roller, roll the primer, and wait 15 minutes for it to dry, 15, 20 minutes, and then put the peel and stick crack prevention thing on it, on those rooms, and then hit the hay. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming by. Have a good one, Steve. Good to see you again. Good night.